Parashat Emor is found in Leviticus chapter 22 verse 1 to chapter 24 verse 23. Today I will focus on Leviticus 23. Now, Emor means say, and in this portion of the Torah, God had a lot to say through Moses to his chosen people, the children of Israel. God called his people to assemble at varying times each year and to treat those feasts or festivals as holy in the same way the Sabbath is. The Sabbath usually occurs weekly, and it is a holy day of rest. God took the time to detail how he wants his people to live, what offerings he will and will not accept from them, as well as how they were expected to observe the times he called. The first feast, Passover, remembers the last plague in Egypt, when the angel of death passed over the children of Israel, who applied the blood of the lamb to their doors. The Feast of Unleavened Bread is a 7-day-long celebration and begins on the day following the start of Passover. In their haste to leave Egypt, the Israelites had no time to add leaven or yeast to their bread. This is a time to remember the hardships in Egypt and how God took them out. The Feast of First Fruits is a time of celebration to thank and honor God for all he has provided. The Feast of Weeks occurs exactly 7 weeks after the Feast of First Fruits, so it is also called Pentecost, which means 50 days. For the Feast of Trumpets, God commands his people to assemble at the start of the year to commemorate the decree with trumpet blasts. The Day of Atonement is a day of humility and repentance to God. It is a time for the people of God to get their hearts, their consciences, and their lives right before him. The Feast of Tabernacles follows the Day of Atonement and celebrates God's provision and protection for the people of Israel during their 40 years of wandering in the wilderness. These feasts are times when God expects his people to assemble. He made it very clear that they are his appointed meetings. If God calls an assembly, be certain that he will show up because he honors his word. God said that these feasts are lasting covenants or lasting ordinances, which means the instructions to assemble did not die with Moses and those who lived then, but are still relevant today and must be observed by the present generation and generations to come. So to opt out is not an option. In connecting the haftorah, found in Ezekiel chapter 44 from verse 15 to verse 31, the prophet Ezekiel echoed in detail God's expectation of the priests as they gather to minister to him. This portion of the Torah reiterates that whenever God calls an assembly, he is very specific about order. He tells us how the priests should enter and exit his sanctuary, what they should wear, and how they should conduct themselves in their priestly garments. So, what is God saying, or what has he said to us today? In both Parashat Emor and the Haftarah, God effectively communicates to us that he is a God of order and detail, not a God of confusion. As those made in his image and his likeness, we too should be a people of order and detail. As his royal priesthood, when he issues an instruction to us, not only will he tell us how to carry it out, but he will equip us with whatever is necessary to get it done, regardless of how daunting the task may seem. But most importantly, God promises to be present with us in it. Do you feel as though you have been missing out all these years? There is good news. God operates in cycles. That is just how he is. The celebrations occur annually. In his mercy, he gives us multiple chances to get it right. After all, these celebrations are a rehearsal for when we get to be with him. Bless you.